good, Bogey golfers, friends, family members? Welcome to episode 5, everybody. And of course, thank you so much for those folks that continue to tune in and to watch these particular videos. This is a document of me having my second hip replacement. As you know, I had my first one on my right side, second one on my left side, and I'm doing absolutely fine. I'm coming through this better than it could be expected. I'm ahead of schedule, and I'm really looking forward to getting back into my fitness, which is what this episode is definitely going to be talked about, and that's the tag of this particular episode is physical fitness. So without further ado, let's do a recap of episode 4. So in episode 4, we talked about reasonable expectations. We also talked about how discomfort, pain, challenges, issues that come into your life, as we all know, life be lifing. They help us to grow as individuals and help us with our self-development, help us with our awareness. Now, what I also did was I got one of the best in the business to also level set and bring about some clarity. So Coach Mike talked to us, and what he said was that, at this particular point, at this particular environment of playing any kind of competitive sports, or life is competitive as well, it's, as an individual, you're going to have less tolerance for your mental errors. We've pretty much mastered a lot in our jobs. We've mastered a lot, in our particular homes and lifestyle. And right now is at that point whereas we have a lot of, we have less tolerance for the mental errors. And then also too, within this game of life, within this game of golf, you also find that you have to be accountable, and that this is really a man versus himself battle. So if you need to get more information, or you want to go back and get a little bit more detail about what Coach was talking about and how I presented it, please go back and look at episode 4. But let's go ahead and let's get it started. Let's kick off episode 5. I'm so excited about episode 5 because I have a special guest that I am so thankful and grateful for this particular individual allowing for me to interview him. And he is going to drop some serious gems, some absolute knowledge that I think everyone will benefit from. And if you don't benefit from it, then you can forward it to your friend or your family member, because you all know someone that needs to improve their physical fitness. Just like our mental fitness, our spiritual fitness is important, our physical fitness is just as important, because the saying goes, health is wealth. So with that being said, let's go ahead and let's get it started as far as that is concerned. So physical fitness, extremely important. In the game of golf, when it comes to physical fitness, what I have noticed for myself is that whenever I have been physically fit, or when my conditioning has been right where it needs to be, I'm able to play and score much better than normal. In the game of golf, there's a sense of urgency to get better as soon as possible, because you have to master so many different skills for the game of golf, whether that's your putting, whether that's your chipping, whether that's your pitching, whether that's your mid-irons, whether that's your driver off the tee, just trying to put the ball in the fairway. So it's a sense of urgency to really work on those things and get those things to a place where you can enjoy golf. As a competitive handicapper, it's always your goal to try to either shoot at your handicap or to go under your handicap. And there's where the sense of urgency is. When you are an individual that has not mastered that and you're still developing that, that golf can be extremely frustrating. It's a very hard sport to play, and there's a lot of rules involved with it as well. So I say all of that to say that I've noticed several times that when I hadn't had my physical fitness together, and when I was playing a round of golf, when I didn't, like I said before, I had that physical fitness, and I got to hole 13, 14, and I started feeling the fatigue. It turned into not just physical fatigue, but also mental fatigue, and then that's where the wheels fell off, and it could turn a really good round into a very bad round. So it's always very important to have that physical fitness together if you want to maintain your consistency. And as you can see, I'm gonna put a video up on screen right now of just a practice session for me. As I'm hitting the ball, you'll see that I seem to be falling forward, or falling to the left, or falling to the right. I'm not really being able to maintain my flexibility, my mobility, my balance, my strength. And in the game of golf, you are winding up on the right side and you are firing through, but your left side has to stop all of that particular power that you've generated. And if your strength is not balanced in your body on your right side and your left side, then as you can see on the screen, or as you saw on the screen, I'm falling over and falling back. In addition to that, as I was reviewing my scores in Game Book, I can also tell my scores were all over the place. Sometimes I was playing plenty consistent in the front nine, and then I fell off on the back nine, and that had a lot to do with the fact is that my body was riddled with arthritis in my hips. And if anyone knows that in the game of golf, your hips are extremely important in order for you to play and hit the ball very consistently and hit the ball on the middle of the club face all the time. So those are two things that are seriously important. So I'm so thankful that I had this particular gentleman in my life. I'm going to present this interview that I had with him, and this guy's dropping some nuggets, not just for the game of golf, but also for you, your family members, to make sure that you're taking care of your fitness. And if you need help, if you need an assessment, talk to a physical therapist. Go ahead and go to your primary care doctor and say, hey doc, I think I may need to get an assessment on my hips, on my shoulder, on my knees, on my ankles. That gentleman could, your primary care doctor can forward you out, or refer you out rather, to a physical therapist, and then they can do an assessment on you. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and say, hey, JR, take over from here. JR was my physical therapist. He's the gentleman that I've interviewed, and he was there with me when I had my right side replaced. He helped me get back to competitive status to play golf and have my fitness together. And now he's assisting me and helping me and coming up with a great plan for us to move forward with when it comes to my left side. So here's the interview. So I have a special guest with us today, someone that I'm so very familiar with. This particular gentleman was with me and was my physical therapist for my first hip replacement surgery back in 2020. I'm so grateful and so thankful that JR is now my physical therapist for my second hip replacement surgery. And as you know, I had to shut down golf because I had arthritis in my left hip. So I'm just thankful and grateful that he is with me as my physical therapist, pushes me, and I also publicly want to say thank you.
Oh,
I really appreciate you.
No problem.
You know, dedicated individual, very committed to the plan, and also pushes me. So I wanted to have him here because there's a deeper message within having a physical therapist. I mean, people go to therapy for their spiritual, they go to therapy for their mental, and I think it's also very important for individuals either after a surgery or if they've got aches and pains to go and see a physical therapist and get an assessment. So I am interviewing JR, and one of the questions that I have, of course, is JR, if you could introduce yourself to the viewers with Good Bogey Golf, and then also to tell us a little bit of why you became a physical therapist and what you do as a physical therapist as well.
Okay, great. Yeah, I've been doing this for like 20 plus years, doing the physical therapy. Started off in sports medicine, athletic training, all those type of things. And I really got into it because I wanted to be a coach.
Okay.
But when I went to the counselor, they said, coaching is a very limited projected career. You might want to look into physical therapy. Mm-hmm. And I got in and looked into that, and I enjoy coaching people to get better and enhancing them. So I that's where this comes from. So I love seeing people improve. What I do love the best is athletes. I like seeing athletes improve. Not even after injury, or if they want to enhance and get better. Those type of things I really love to do. So I work in the Gwinnett area. I contract myself out to many different companies, and so you'll see me from there and there. There's really no way to contact me at this moment,
okay.
but yeah, so that's what I do.
Well, good bogey golfers, if there's a possible need that you may have, I know one of the reasons why I was inspired to do this particular channel and to have these particular episodes is because I'm going through my second hip replacement surgery. I'm going through the entire process, and after I've spoken with some of you guys as well and gals, you all have the need to get some kind of surgery, outpatient surgery. You got aches and pains, and you just really haven't made a decision to go ahead and say, okay, I'm gonna go and figure out what's going on. So I know even just as simple as my own father has, back problems, and he's gone to a therapist for a short period of time and then just quit. So I'm here to tell you that, this is a real live person that will be dedicated and committed to you. Take on this particular opportunity to reach out to me, and then I may be able to talk to JR and find out if he can take you on as a patient. But
yeah, and to go on to that, some of the things that we had talked about previously one-on-one was a lot of times people they get the aches, they get the pains, and they just ignore it.
Yes.
We are very strong human beings. Spiritually, you talked about that,
yes.
And we kind of we've endured so much that we kind of just put that on the back burner. Mm-hmm. But as I told my mom, I tell some of my patients that these bodies are rentals. And when you get that first cue that something is going wrong, it's time for you to, seek medical attention or medical help. Physical therapists are all over the place. You can go to some that are very packed, and there's like a cookie cutter, and those are the ones that kind of turn people away. You're like, they're not really paying attention to me.
Exactly.
I can just take these exercises, I go home and do it.
Right.
They have apps, right? They have these apps with exercises, which are really great. You get on some of these apps and they'll show you which exercises to do. But as you can see, they can't tell those minute, okay, he's limited with his rotators. His flexibility is limited.
Right.
We need to stretch out this because he's having pain. So those type of things you need to seek medical attention for. So when you go and you have that first pain, you need to consult a physical therapist. Find a clinic near your home. Go in there, see how it feels to you. And then you want to connect with your therapist. We have a good connection.
Yes.
I'll tell you right now, when sports is the background, I connect with any of my patients. But some therapists are more about neuro, like balance. Some patients some therapists are on one other thing than the other. So you want to make sure that you're connecting with the right therapist, and don't be afraid to go and seek someone else if that's not a good fit.
Okay.
And then what we talked about, you want to go through the whole process.
Correct.
Because a lot of times when your injuries are coming, it's because it's been overused, something you've been doing wrong for a very long time. So the recovery and rehab of it is not quick. Unless you're doing surgery, it's a long process. Wow. It can go for months and months and months. And then educate yourself. A lot of times for me, even myself, I know. I think I told you, my shoulder was hurting, and I was sleeping on the side towards my wife, and all I had to do was change it around and then do my rehab that I know to do, and those things start to change. So that education, those things are needed once you start to get those pains, those cues that are coming to you. Don't ignore them. Take the time to go and seek that medical attention.
Well, hey, I can't say any more after that, people. So listen, I'm here to let you know that if I can do it, as I always say, if I can do it, you can do it too. And it's very important. Don't ignore your body. Like JR said, these are rentals and we have to take care of them. So this is the episode 5 of Good Bogey Golfers Journey Back to the Fairway. I appreciate and thank all of you guys for tuning in with me. I wanted to bring this special guest to let you know that, this is a process that you must go all the way through. Thanks again. We'll talk to you soon.